And we're live. Welcome to the SB Fantasy Football Podcast, where, gosh darn it, we try hard. As always, here on Saturday night, it's me, your host, Alan, ready to talk through all of our start, sit questions, work through the injuries, bye weeks. We got two teams on the bye this week. We got the Bills and the Ravens are on byes this week. We'll get into it. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about injuries. We got a lot of guys that are injured. We got a lot of guys that are kind of questionable going into this week. Some game time decisions, especially over on Monday night. Mike Evans, Emeka Ibuka are going to be game time decisions. So unless we have somebody else to plug in and play on Monday night, we're going to bench them and play the guys that we know that are going to play on Saturday, or not Saturday, on Sunday, right? We don't want to get caught with our pants down, right? We're like, well, Mike Evans is trending towards playing, but we don't know for sure. Something can happen between now and then. So I'm going to go ahead and keep him on the bench. Let him get another week. We'll take it. We'll look at him again next week, right? Again, we got the Bills and the Ravens on byes this week. We do have a Sunday morning game. We got another 8:30. Is it 8:30 a.m. game with the Rams and the Jags, which should actually be a really good game. Both teams are 4-2. No Puka in that game. Puka is not going to play. So if you're someone who has uh, Davante Adams, you definitely want to play Davante. We're going to go ahead and plug and play Davante Adams, get him in our lineups, especially if he's kind of like a bubble player for you, right? Because he's been okay this year, but he's a must play this week. We got to play Davante with Puka out this week. Kyron Williams should have a big game this week. If you're hurting running back wise, maybe a Blake Corum play this week. We'll just have to kind of see what our other options are, but Blake Corum's been okay. What do we got going on here? Welcome in TikTok. How's everyone doing? Just Jay. Start Stephon Diggs, Brian Thomas Jr., or Mike Evans. I'm going to go Brian Thomas Jr. He's looked good the last couple of weeks. Mike Evans, we don't know for sure if he's going to play. And because we don't know for sure he's going to play, we're going to go ahead and go with Brian Thomas. Stephon Diggs has been okay. Ferguson or Laporta, I'm going to go with Ferguson. I like Ferguson this year. He's been tight end, number one. So let's look to continue that trend this week with Laporta. There's just so many different options there in Detroit. You don't know if it's going to be his week, right? Let's see here. Kamara or Waddle at the flex. I'm nervous about the Miami game because we've got they're talking about like 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. So that could definitely affect the pass game there. Kamara hasn't done much on the season. Let's just kind of take a look and just see what he's done the last couple of weeks. They do have Chicago. Chicago is a favorable matchup, 7th most points to running back. So let's look for Kamara to have a good game this week. Let's see here. I need help picking up tight end for this week. Mayer, Henry, Ingram, Schultz, Johnson, or Barner. We got a lot of options there. Let me just look at a couple things real quick. Evan Ingram's kind of been good the last couple weeks. 4 catches for 33 and a touchdown, 5 for 42, 1 rush for 7. The Giants give up 22nd most points. 6 targets, 7 targets. So he's starting to get the targets. The yards just aren't there yet. What are we thinking about Derrick Henry? Hunter Henry, Tennessee. I mean, it is Tennessee, but Tennessee's actually been really good against tight ends. Henry, you're getting a couple catches a week out of him. So nothing too excited there. Mayer, is Brock Bowers for sure out? Let's see here. Kansas City does not give up a lot of points. Let's see here. He had 5 for 50 and a touchdown last week. Not Barber. Barner. Let's take a look here. Jay, I'll be right with you, brother. Barner's looked good lately. Houston doesn't give up a ton of points. He only had 3 catches, but there were 71 yards, 7 for 53, 2 touchdowns, 3 for 32 and a touchdown. I mean, other than 2 weeks, he's been double digits in points in your PPR formats. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go with Barner and hope he just continues his trend. So let's go with Barner there. Let's see here, Jay. What do we got? We already answered that one. Now, if you're starting Drake May, do you go for the stack with Diggs? Not if I think Brian Thomas is going to have a better game, right? That's my question with it. Is who do I think is going to have a better game? I like the stacks, but if I think Brian Thomas Jr. is going to have a better game, I'm going to go with that guy, right? Because the stack's not really going to do much for you if you could have started a wide receiver that's going to get you more points. So in this case, it doesn't. I got a better player, so I'm going to play the better player. So Pickens, Pittman, or Odunze. I'm nervous about Pickens this week. CD's coming back, right? Is that official on the CD Lamb front that he is back? Yeah, CD's back. So that's definitely going to take some targets away from him. Pittman didn't look great last week. We got the Chargers this week, 305 on Sunday. He only had 2 catches for 20 yards, ruining a streak where he had touchdowns in 3 straight weeks. Odunze's actually been a lot better this year than I thought he was going to be. He's got a nice matchup against New Orleans. Only 2 catches for 32 yards. But again, other than that, he's had a TD in every game. So let's go with Odunze there, Jay. Let's go Odunze. If Lamb wasn't playing, I'd probably go Pickens, but Lamb's back, so I think that takes a little bit of the shine away from Pickens. In that case, and then Pittman. I like Pittman, but Odunze, great matchup. All but last week he's had a touchdown. Look for him to get in the end zone for sure. Jackson, Bourne or Worthy? Well, we know all the guys are still out there. Ricky's not playing. Mac Jones is playing again. Atlanta is a little bit of a tougher matchup for wide receivers, but I mean, he's gone back-to-back 20 points. I don't see any reason for him not to continue doing what he's doing. Worthy, I do like Worthy. We get Rice back this week, although I don't know. I'm not ready to completely sell out on Rice, right? But, I mean, Worthy's just been okay. 2 catches last week, 6 the week before, 5 the week before, 83 yards, 42 yards, 20 yards. I'm going Bourne here. Let's take Bourne. A.J. Brown or Pittman, I'm going against a 6-0 guy. There's so many problems in Philly right now. They're playing Minnesota. He's been a little bit better, but he's not getting in the end zone. Minnesota gives up the least amount of points to wide receivers. So that's definitely a problem. I mean, we're not a much better matchup against the Chargers. Michael Pittman's the safer play. I think A.J. Brown has this high ceiling because I think they got to try and figure something out with that pass game. So if you're going to go for like a home run, I think A.J. Brown's got a little bit of a higher ceiling than Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman in his big weeks are, 6 for 80 and a touchdown. That's his biggest week, right? 4 catches, 6 catches, 5 catches, 5 catches, 2 catches. So he's going to get you somewhere between 5 to 6 catches, probably anywhere between 30 and 80 yards. Hoping he gets in the end zone. He's gotten in the end zone 4 out of the 6 weeks so far. So we definitely got a good chance at getting in the end zone there. But Yeah, let me go again. Michael Pittman's the safe play. If you're looking for a home run, possibly AJ Brown. Marvin Harrison, Tet, Luke, or Vidal in the flex. Rising, are we talking about a PPR league or what? Swift, I hadn't heard anything about Swift being out. Let me look that up, Jay. He's questionable right now. Officially listed as questionable for Sunday's game. He wasn't wasn't listed on Wednesday's injury report, but was limited in practice Thursday and Friday. I don't know that I would play him though. Like, do we really want to play Kyle? Is it a matter of playing Kyle or Swift? I don't know. Full PPR rising. Okay. So I do like Luke this week. In a flex position, I typically roll with running backs because we're going to get a little bit more love out of your running back position. Hoping Vidal, if he gets the same workload this week as he did last week, I definitely like that. Marvin Harrison's been okay. We're looking at TD or bust, right? Jets is a tough matchup for wide receivers, though. I mean, yeah, we're looking at TD or bust. I'm gonna go Vidal there, rising. Let's go with Vidal. Pickens, London, Keenan Allen, AJ Brown, Olave, start 2. London's looked better. I'll be right back over there, TikTok. London looked great. He's got over 100 yards and a touchdown the last 2 weeks. So I do like London. The crazy thing about Olave is he's like second in the league in targets. Chicago gives up a ton of points to wide receivers, the 9th most. So that's definitely a good matchup. I'm not sure what we're going to get out of Pickens this week with CD back. Let's go Olave and London, Jay. Let's see here. Should I start Bourne or Keenan? I'm going Bourne. I don't see any reason for Bourne not to keep doing what he's been doing. Swift, Diggs, or Waddle. Keep an eye on the injury report. I'm nervous about Waddle this week because they're talking about 50-mile-per-hour winds out there in that game, so it should be pretty tough to pass the ball. If it wasn't for the weather conditions, I would say Waddle. I kind of want to lean towards Diggs, especially with a groin issue with Swift going into the week. So we'll see what we got going on there. May or Caleb? May's been playing better as of late. I like what we've been getting out of Drake May here lately. Yeah, I mean, I think I want to go with May. Caleb's been okay, but he hasn't been great, right? It is a nice matchup against New Orleans. They do give up a ton of points, but I think I want to go May. I look for Vrabel to kind of take it out on Tennessee and look for them to, if they have the chance to run the score up, run that score up. Love or Stafford? I love Stafford. No Puka, though. I am concerned about no Puka this week. He still will chunk the ball around, but who knows what we're going to get out of him. Love, Arizona. They don't give up a ton of points. Love has just kind of been okay. I think I'm going to go Stafford. Let's take Stafford. Pick 2, Dobbins, Dowdle, or Vidal. Dobbins and Vidal. We don't know what kind of workload Rico's going to get this week. So I am nervous about the split there. Goddard or Ferguson? Give me Ferguson. I like Ferguson this week. Second flex, LCM or Coker. I'm going Luke. I'm going Luke because you don't have Debo there. You don't have Debo's out. Scary Terry's out. Sutton over Quentin Johnston. Is Johnson even playing this week? I know he's been out with the injury. No injury designation, but I like Sutton. Sutton's just he's a ball player. ETN or McConkey. Is it standard or PPR? Let me know. Who said that? Wicked. Let me know if it's standard or PPR. Dak or Goff. I'm expecting a shootout in Tampa. I think Goff's going to have a pretty good game. Dak's going to have a good game too. He's got CD back. They give up the sixth most amount of points. It's really close. Standard, I think I'm going to go with ETN then. Give me ETN Wicked in the standard format. I kind of like Shep this week. Golden's been okay. Should I start Rico or Saquon? I'm going to go Saquon. Rico's going to be splitting time this week. I kind of like Shep because you don't have. But here's the other thing, Anthony, that does make me nervous about Shep. Mike Evans might play, and Emeka Egbuka might play. And if they both play, that takes some of the shine off of Shepard, right? And we're not going to get. It's a Monday night game. It's a game time decision. So I actually think let's go Golden because he's kind of guaranteed to be a guy there. Versus Shep might be non-existent. We just don't know. If I knew for sure what was going on with Mike Evans and Emeka Egbuka, that would definitely make that decision a lot easier. Herbert or May this week? Let's see here, Jay. Herbert or May? I know May's been great. Herbert's been really good this year. Indy gives up some points, not a ton of points. Let's go May. Let's go May, Jay. Yeah, I'm definitely taking Saquon over Rico. Let's go Tet over QJ. Addison, Keenan, or Golden. That one's tougher. Let's see here. Against Philly. I mean, he's been all right. 4 for 114, 5 for 41 in a touchdown. Philly's kind of middle of the road. What were the other options there? Sorry. Hold on. Luke McCaffrey over Chris Moore. I'm still gonna go. Ooh, man, that's a good one. Hold on, let me get back to that. Hold on, I gotta get this as Keenan. I mean, Keenan Allen's been really good this year. It's kind of hard not to play him. He did have a rough week last week. He's got to. Let's go Keenan Allen there. It's a good matchup. Indy gives up the fourth most amount of points to wide receivers. So let's go with him. Murray's out, and Darnold is my second. Should I start or pick somebody else up? I mean, Darnold's been okay. I would need to know who's out there for you to pick up, Charlie. Trade Ashton Jeanty for Sutton and Jaylen Warren. So you would be getting Sutton and Warren. Okay, so Kyle, I want to tell you like I tell everybody. When it comes to trades, I need to see your whole roster, buddy. Um, so do me a favor, send me a message, send a message to the page with your full roster, and let me know if it's standard PPR. Are we talking? I'm assuming we're talking redraft, because in a dynasty, I want to keep Genty. Um, but let me know. Message that over to me, and I'll respond tonight and let you know what I think. But I want to see the rest of your roster before I make that decision in that call. So, like I said, just shoot me over a message, Kyle, and I'll respond. Just include your whole roster there. And not a problem, man. Let's see here. What we got? PPR. Hold on. PPR trade Pickens and Vidal for Bucky and ETN. I have Mike, just like I just told Kyle, send me a message. Send me a message and I will let you know. Mr. Lopez is in the house. How we doing, brother? Hope you're doing good over there. You got any questions for me? Let me know. Let's get those dubs this week for sure. Somehow I got all of these guys: CD, Nico, Pickens, Abuka, McBride, Tyler Warren, Kittle, and ETN. That's a nice little embarrassment of riches there. Do we need to know who we need to start out of all that? I'm not starting Abuka this week because I don't know if he's going to play for sure or not. Um, that's one thing that I am concerned about. Nobody junk. I got Jones. You talking about Daniel Jones? I play Daniel Jones. Charlie. I like Danny Dimes. Tet or Chris Moore. Tet. I'm going to start T Mac over Mike Evans just because I don't know if Mike Evans is going to play for sure. Mac Jones. Okay. But Mac Jones has looked good. Like, there's no reason not to believe in Mac Jones. Mac Jones is the reason why Brock Purdy's still on the bench. To be honest with you, if Mac Jones hasn't been good, I don't think Purdy's. I think Purdy's comes back, but I mean, he had a rough week last week. Um, let me look real quick. So if we're talking Mac Jones, Tampa, Atlanta doesn't give up a ton. Did you say Penix was an option? Because Penix has kind of started to piece some things together. Um, I think you said Penix was an option. I mean, hold on. I'm just let me Darnold against Houston. You know what? Let's go Darnold. 2 touchdowns last week, 4 the week before. A little tough against Arizona. Um, yeah, go ahead and stick with the head. Well, hold on. Houston is a tough matchup. San Francisco's not a is it probably a better matchup. BTJ over Waddle. I'm nervous about Waddle this week with the weather conditions in Miami for the Miami game. You're looking at like 50-mile-per-hour winds. That could be a problem for the passing game. Yeah, but Penix really hasn't had a great game this year. Yeah, go ahead and go with Darnold. Start Keenan Allen, AJ Brown, or Luke McCaffrey. I um Keenan's got a nice matchup. Diggs is expected to play, by the way, guys. He's expected to. We'll see. I'm going Bourne over Swift, Jax. Give me Bourne. Let's see here. Keenan. I like Luke McCaffrey because you've got Scary Terry's out, Debo's out. Um, Luke should be the number one wide receiver there this week against Dallas, which is just awful. Keenan's got a really nice matchup. but you still have Vlad there. QJ is supposed to be back this week. AJ Brown, there's just so many problems there right now. I hate going with him. Let me go, Miles. Let's go, Luke. I like Luke this week. ETN or Swift? Trade Tet for Pickens. Well, Pickens, we don't know what we're going to get at. CD's back now. CD is back, so I don't know if I would trade Tet for Pickens. What was I getting ready to look at? I like Bill this week against the Cowboys. Rashee White should still have a pretty good game, but the Cowboys is so bad right now. Actually like Fannin with Njoku out this week. So let's go Fannin over Mason Taylor. ETN, that's what we were getting ready to look up. Okay, so I'm going to go ETN, and here's why I'm going to go ETN. He hasn't been great the last couple weeks. Swift is dealing with a groin injury, and ETN plays at 8:30 in the morning. So unless you got somebody else that you can plug in case Swift doesn't play, then I'm going to go with ETN because we know ETN's going to play. That's my thought process there. Swift is dealing with a groin injury, limited in practice. Groin injuries can flare up for sure. So I want to go ETN over Swift in this case just because I know ETN is healthy. And if I got a guy who's healthy versus a guy who's not healthy, I'm going to go there. It's a groin injury though, man. That's the thing. That's what makes me nervous. I'm nervous about that. Addison or JMO? I think I'm going to go with Addison's your safe play. JMO is I need a S ton of points. Knicks over Stroud. JMO he's boomer bust right now. He's not going to get you a ton of catches. You're hoping he breaks one open and takes it to the house. Versus Addison, he's going to have a solid game. The floor is a lot higher with Jordan Addison. Your floor is you can get 0 with JMO, or you can get 30. With Addison, I think we're going to be somewhere between 10 to 15 points. So, but yeah, it's just JMO's just so all over the place right now. So thoughts on Bucky's injury? I hate it. Will he get full volume when he comes back? It might take a week or two for him to ramp up once he comes back. I'm going Chris Olave over Quentin Johnston. Chris Olave is second in the league in targets. And there's just not a lot of other options there. Drop one to start Kittle, Spears, Miller, or Fannin. I have Kraft. Miller, who are we talking about with Miller? Pablo. Give me a first name on Miller. Luke over Quentin Johnston. Luke over Quentin Johnston. Kendre Miller. Okay, I'm not dropping Kendre Miller. Let's see here. Luke to the moon. Yeah. Having to run with Jones and Brissett. Okay, that's not awful. Going with Wilson in my case. Josh Jacobs is a no-go. He's a game time decision. Is he? I didn't see that. Questionable. I like if he plays. I like him. Illness. Oh, an illness that came up, and he's a true game time decision, and he plays at 3:25. So yeah, that sucks. It's going to be game time, so you got to have someone else at 3:00. Hear about Green Bay hasn't left for the game yet? I did not hear that, Michael. That's crazy. Why haven't they left for the game yet? What's going on with that? I think I go to Arizona. That's crazy. I have not heard that. All right. Hold on, Paul. I'm coming back to you, Pablo. I'm not dropping Kendry Miller. I'm holding on to him. Hold on. I gotta go back up to your question, Pablo. Just give me a second. I'll drop Spears. I'll drop Spears. Romeo Dobbs or Kendrick Bourne. I need help with this so bad. I'm going Kendrick Bourne. He's gotten you 142 yards the last 2 weeks. No reason why he doesn't do the same thing. Yeah, no problem, Pablo. Thank you guys for all the likes and the gifts. I definitely appreciate it over there. What's going on there in Green Bay, Michael? Let me know because I ain't seen anything on that. Reminder, guys, we got the Bills and the Ravens on bye weeks. May or Daniels? I'm gonna go Daniels against the Cowboys. They're just delayed 5 hours. Okay. Mason Taylor or Kraft, half PPR. I like Kraft. Kraft's been good so far this year. Mason Taylor's been all right, but I just think Kraft's been better. I got Taylor starting and Rico and Dobbins. Should I? I'm not dropping. I'm not dropping Rico. Rico could still be that guy. He really could. Vidal. I mean, eventually Omari and Hampton comes back, right? Vidal looked really good last week, but it's a week. I get nervous about making all these moves after a guy has one really good week, especially like a backup like that. I'm nervous. Tony Pollard or Jerry Jeudy in the flex. What has either one of those guys done for us lately? I know Pollard hasn't been great. They're playing New England. New England's tough against the run. He's got 2 touchdowns this year. Has Jeudy been doing anything since the kid came in? If I could spell, I could tell you. The wind's gonna be horrific there this week. Man, I think I'm gonna go Tony Pollard. Give me Tony Pollard. Yeah. Addison or Keenan Allen. Give me Addison's a safer play. Addison's going to be the safer play on that one. If you're looking, I think Keenan Allen has a higher ceiling. But Jordan Addison's going to be more solid. Start Jamel Wandell or Bourne. I'm going Bourne, guys. I like Bourne this week. I like Bourne. Bourne. Marks or Pollard? Marks has got more potential. I'll go with Marks. Scat. Dude, I'm all about Scatterby right now, guys. Give me Scat, man. Let's see here. You have Gibbs and Judkins starting. So you want to know if you go with Bill or Saquon? Give me Bill. I like the matchup against the Cowboys. The Cowboys are just so bad. Yeah, the Cowboys are just so bad. I'm going to go Montgomery in the flex. Jared, give me Montgomery in the flex. I'm starting Luke McCaffrey. Yeah. Let's go with Luke McCaffrey. I like Luke this week against the Cowboys. And he's going to be the number 1 option there. I'm going to go with Waddle just because I don't know what's going to happen with Shep on Monday night. There's a chance Mike Evans plays and there's a chance Emeka Egbuka play. And if they both play, then that just relegates Shepard to 3rd receiver duties at best. Right? So I know Travion breakout game. I don't know, man. I would hope so. I've been hoping for a Travion breakout game all season. Just traded Ferguson and Arian Henderson for Bucky. Have Henry, Scat, and Gibbs solid. If Bucky comes back, and I mean Ferguson has been the number one tight end, and it's gonna depend on that injury. What's up, Swoopy? How we doing, man? Do you think Jacobs will play? Everything I'm seeing is it's gonna be a game time. He's dealing with an illness, so I have no idea, no clue, no clue whatsoever, man. Um, and he's the 3 o'clock game, so you got to have someone. If you don't have anybody, if all your other running backs are playing the noon slot, you're playing them. Um, that's just all there is to it, and it's tough. It really is. He's dealing with an illness, and you just don't know. Mahomes or Goff. I like both of the matchups for sure, right? Um, Mahomes has followed up his big games with okay games. I think I'm gonna go with Goff just barely. Just barely. Apparently Calf as well. I'm not happy if that's the case. Yeah. No, I didn't. Everything I'm seeing is the biggest concern about him is the illness. Because he had no injury designation, then he just all of a sudden just got sick. Walker, Juwan, or Otten. I like Otten to have a good game. I would go Otten over. You know what? Yeah, I'm nervous about the Miami game because the winds are supposed to be awful. All right, King. I'll take a look at that after I'm done with the live tonight, man. Here's the thing. Detroit historically gives up points to tight ends. That's just all there is to it. That's just the way it is. Detroit just gives up points to tight ends. I don't understand why. They just do. So I like Otten to kind of have a out of nowhere game this week. I'm going to go Kenneth Walker over Emmanuel Wilson. And some of that's depending on if Josh Jacobs plays, but I Kenneth Walker should be better. Like that's all there is to it. He's a better running back. He should be better. Now you can also kind of play that by ear because they don't play until Monday night. So if Josh Jacobs doesn't play and they say Emmanuel Wilson is going to be the starter, then we can pivot, right? But it's going to be a game time decision type thing. Give me Luke McCaffrey. I like Luke McCaffrey this week, guys. Yeah, and I'm 1-5. Just made a trade before all of this news. White tight end though, Fannin, Waller, or Mason Taylor. Give me Fannin. And Njoku's out this week. Waller, the winds are going to be awful in that Cleveland Miami game. They're talking about 50, 60 mile per hour winds. So that could definitely impact the game. And Mason Taylor's been okay. But with no Njoku there, I like Fannin. But again, that's the same game. So hold on. That's Cleveland and Miami. Give me a second. Swoopy. Let me look at something. Why did I scroll so far now? Carolina. Do we think last week was an anomaly? Carolina gives up the second most points to tight ends. He's got it. I mean, he can't do worse than he did last week. Let's go Mason Taylor. Ferguson or Kraft. Rain could be a problem. Yeah, go Mason Taylor, Swoopy. Really good matchup. Tet Diggs or QJ. Give me Tet. Should I start Ferguson or Kraft? I want to say Ferguson. Arizona gives up the sixth most amount of points. Tucker is kind of cooled off as of late. He only had 2 catches last week. Jake's just been so good. Let's go Jake Ferguson. Kendrick Bourne. We're going Kendrick Bourne over Chris Moore. Start Browns or Rams defense? Browns. Give me the Browns defense. Especially if we're talking like crappy weather conditions, rain, possibility of high winds. So we could definitely be looking at some interceptions, some fumbles, maybe not like a high scoring thing. With CD back, do you think Jake will? I think Jake will be fine. I think the guy I'm kind of worried about there a little bit, not a ton, is Pickens, but Dak likes Ferguson. He just does. So I'm gonna go with Ferguson in that case. I don't feel safe starting Coker. I especially at the flat. I want someone else. Who else you got? Who are you starting him over? Scott, let me know. Tyler Warren. Give me Tyler Warren. All right, Morgie, here's the thing. Swoopy, I got you next. Unless you have somebody else to play on that Monday night that you can plug in case he doesn't play, because we don't know for sure that Mike Evans is going to play. He's trending towards playing, but I don't want to come up against it where it's like he doesn't play. Right? I'm going to take Bourne over JMO. We just don't know. And when you're dealing with a guy who's injured and may or may not play, I'm always going to take the guy that's going to play. Tez or Bourne. I want the guy that I know is going to play for sure versus the guy that I don't know for sure. Now, if you have another option for Monday night that you can plug in case he doesn't play, then let's hold off and wait and let's see what Mike Evans does. If he does play, I like playing him. We just got to see. Especially with Detroit, there's a chance Kirby Joseph doesn't play this week. Brian Branch is definitely out this week. So we're running up against some issues. All right, Swoopy, what about wide receiver Trey Tucker, Devontae Smith, Jameson Williams, Kendrick Bourne, Stephon Diggs? What's the question? I like Kendrick Bourne out of that group. I got to pick 2. Okay. Kendrick Bourne, for sure. JMO is if you need a home run, he's boom or bust. That's what we know about JMO, boom or bust. So we don't know what we're going to get out of him. Give me Drake May over Stafford. Trey Tucker's had, are we still sitting at a good game with Trey Tucker? Let me look. Kansas City is a little bit. Yeah, we're still looking at a good game out of Trey Tucker, right? I don't mind Devontae. What's Devontae done for me lately? Not a ton. Devontae's played good every other week, guys. And he was 4 for 49, 8 for 114, 2 for 29, 8 for 16 in a tutty. Let's go Devontae Smith. Let's continue that trend. Let's go Devontae Smith and Kendrick Bourne. I like Kendrick Bourne. Even with Kittle back. Kendrick Bourne is, and Mac Jones is still the QB. He's looked good with him. I don't see any reason. There's still no Ricky. So I don't see any reason. Montgomery or Pittman, I'm going to go Montgomery. I always like running backs in my flex. Coker coming off the IR and either have to drop Juwan Jennings or Coker. Other drop option Charbonnet, who was on a bye next week, but could get swooped up just like that. Um, I think I'm gonna. I think it. I think it's Coker. Um, especially coming off the injury, it's going to be a few weeks. Let's go with him. Jake, what are our other options over Tet? Um, I get it, Sauce Gardner, right? Olave or Rome? Give me Rome. I don't want to drop Charbonnet. I want to keep a running back. We're one play away from Charbonnet being a must start. Jaden Daniels or Baker Mayfield? That is a tough one. I like Jaden Daniels against the Cowboys. The Cowboys defense is awful. But I also just love Baker. Like, my heart says Baker. My brain says start Jaden. Frank, I gotta know what my other options are. I mean, Ramondre or who? Ramondre or who? But yeah, Jelly, I think I'm gonna go with Coker. Dropping Coker. I don't know, man. Jordan Addison or Pittman? Addison's the safer play. Pittman's um has a higher ceiling. So I like Jordan Addison to get us 10 to 15 points. Um, I think Pittman can be about the same, but Pittman can get you more. Can get you more. Jordan Mason or Kamara? Jordan Mason. Kamara hasn't been great, really. Chubb or Pacheco for the flex. Pacheco's been so bad this year, but so is Chubb. Seattle, Monday night. I mean, he's only got 2 touchdowns. At least he got in the end zone. But there's also talks that Marks is really going to be taking over. Um, Pacheco hasn't gotten in the end zone once this year. Oh, he's got 1 receiving touchdown. 12 for 50. I mean, they just can't run the ball there. I'm gonna go Chubb, but I don't like it. Haley, I missed the first part of your question. Puka is out. Are those my next 2 best options? Haley. I mean, I I almost. Let me look at something. Hold on, Haley. I almost want to say Otten. Detroit historically gives up points to tight ends. Is it PPR, Haley? If you already said that, sorry, I missed it, but let me know. I'm going Drake May tomorrow. Tet or Chris Moore? I like Moore's week 7 situation better than Tet's. I'm going Bourne over Tez. We don't know what's going to be going on with Tez. Mike Evans and Ibuka might play. I almost want to say Cade Otton, Haley. Like, let me say this. Cade Otton, I think, is a safer play. I think Nick Chubb has a little bit of a higher ceiling. So, but yeah, I mean, typically I want to go with a running back in my flex position. Um, but neither one of those guys have been any good this year. Um, I do like Chris Moore's situation. Um, Jalen Lane or Chris Moore? Give me Chris Moore. Is it, eh, Dallas's offense is or defense is so bad. I have Dallas RB1. Do I put ETN or Chuba as RB2? ETN? I kind of want to say ETN. I wish I knew what was going on in Carolina. I really do. I really do. Jude, I'll be right there with you over there on YouTube. Let me see here. The Jets. Are they going to run them both? That's my problem. Kev, what'd you say? Hold on. ETN's a TD or bust. That's the issue. I don't know if Chuba and Rico and then here's the thing. It could be Rico. You know what? Let's go Rico and Chuba. One of those two guys is going to have a great game. Marks over Spears. All right. Jude, should I go with Kelsey or Fannin this week? I'm concerned about Rice coming back, but the weather should be bad for Fannin's game. The weather's going to be bad for Fannin's game. Kelsey, I just don't like Kelsey this year. He's been better the last 2 weeks. Yeah, go with Kelsey. I don't think Rice does anything to Kelsey's production. And I'm not necessarily concerned. Rice hasn't played in a year and a half. And the way everybody talks about him is like he was Jerry Rice. And he wasn't. Also pick one out of these three: Marv, Walker, and Jameson Williams. We talking PPR? Jude, let me know. I think I want to go Kenneth Walker. PPR. I think Walker's your best play. JMO could end up with the most points out of those guys. Here's the thing with JMO, guys, and I'll continue to talk about it because his name keeps coming up. He's boom or bust. And there's so many options in that Detroit offense. You just hope it's his week, right? But if it's not his week, we're kind of screwed. Olave over QJ. But he could ball out for 40 points, or he could get you 2 or 0, right? I'm a JMO owner myself. I'm also a Lions fan. I love the Lions. But JMO's just been very frustrating this year. He was a lot more consistent last year than he's been this year. He's just been boom or bust this year right now. And until he can kind of carve something out, I don't know. Ladd over QJ and Waddle. I'm nervous about Waddle. Tez, I'm going Kendrick Bourne over Tez. We don't know what role Tez is going to play. Again, Mike Evans, I've been talking about all day, guys. Mike Evans and Ibuka might both play. There's a chance that they both play. And if they both play, Shep's worthless, and so is Taz. Like, that's all there is to that. Hold on a second. Boom. And we're back. All right. Love or Fields? Love. I like Love over Fields. Traded Lamar, McBride, Hall, Warren for Mahomes, CMC, Hunter, Henry, Kareem Hunt. That's a lot of trading. You might end up on the better side of that because we don't know when Lamar's coming back. Pick 2, Dobbins. I'm going to go with Dobbins and Bill. I like Bill this week against the Cowboys. But yeah, let's go with Walker, Jude. That's who I'm going to go with over there. Luke, J-Mo, Dobbs. Is there anything going on with Dobbs? I know he's been dealing with some injuries this year. No, he's fully healthy right now. Let's go Dobbs and Luke. Dobbs and Luke. But again, J-Mo might be the high scorer there, right? If you need to hit a home run and you need a guy that could possibly hit that for you, that would be J-Mo. Vidal or Kamara. Kamara just hasn't been good. I know Vidal's had a good week, but it's more good weeks than Kamara's had this year. I want May over Williams. I really like Drake May this week, guys. I really like Drake May this week. Bourne over Wandell. Kittle coming back doesn't do anything for my confidence in Bourne. When Ricky comes back, that's a problem. Fields is always a good chance to kind of blow up guys with the running ability. I would like other options, but yeah, there's always a potential. I'm going to take Marv over Wandell or Waddle this week, just because of the conditions that are going to be out there in Cleveland this week in that game. Rain, wind, Sutton over Pickens, Harrison over Kraft, Warren's a safer play. Laporta's a home run play. There's just so many options there in Detroit. And Laporta could get you 5-6 catches, 50 yards, or he could get you a couple TDs. It just depends on who's getting the ball that day. It's the only guys that I'm 100%. I'm always playing with Detroit. I'm always playing St. Brown, Demo, and Gibbs. J-Mo and Tesla and Laporta are a boomer bust right now. Let's see here. I like Scat. I know he's going up against Denver, but the Giants got something going right now. I like what their team's doing a lot better than what Philly's doing. So yeah, give me this. I like the Scat Man. Start 2, QJ, Ladd, and Waddle. I mean, I don't like Waddle this week. Am I confident that QJ and Ladd are both going to do something? I don't know. I mean, I like Ladd. Ladd's my number one option there. He's not on the injury report, so that's good. I want to go Ladd. I don't like Waddle this week, but I don't. Sure, go QJ. I like Bill. Josh Jacobs might not play this week, guys. Dealing with an illness. He's a true game time decision. Saquon's been okay, but I really like Bill. I really like Bill. Do I pick up Bam Knight for the Cards with Josh Jacobs possibly being out? I mean, it's a good situation to be in if you do have Bam. Because if Jacobs play, you play Jacobs. If he doesn't, then you're gonna play. Excuse me. Then you play Bam. So you're covered because they play each other, right? So yeah, I mean, I think that's a good backup plan to have for sure. Definitely think that's a good backup plan to have. I want to go with Mason Taylor over Gadsden. Gadsden, yeah. Trade Devonta for Worthy. No, I want it. Worthy hasn't shown me much. Pick 2. Ladd, Sutton, Diggs. I would go. I don't want to risk Ibuka, so I'm gonna go Ladd and Sutton. I like Sutton. I like Ladd. See, that's a big concern with A-Chain with the weather being shit. I like Bill. I like the matchup with Bill. I really do against the Cowboys. I know Bill has been hit or miss, and it's not his fault. It's the Commanders' fault. McCaffrey for the flex. It's the Commanders just not utilizing him. In the weeks that he doesn't do anything, he's only getting 4 or 5 carries. When they give him the carries, he does something. So I like them to do something this week against that Cowboys defense that is just awful. So let's go ahead and go with him. Zachary's at PPR. I think I want to go with Bourne. I want to go with Bourne there. Yeah, give me Bourne. I like Bourne this week again. I like Bourne to have another good week. Noah, I want to see the rest of your roster. So any trade questions like that, guys, send me a message, and I'll answer those. But give me your full roster. Let me know if you're PPR standard, whatever it is. I cannot. Let me just double check something here real quick. I cannot, in good conscience, tell anybody to play TreVeyon Henderson. I just can't. So give me Vidal. I think Bourne will be fine this week. I really do. Moore or Nick? Moore. Nick Chubb. What Moore? Can you give me? Can you give me a first name on Moore? Because there's a lot of options out there. I want to say that you're probably saying Chris Moore. Okay, I want Chris Moore over Chubb. I'd take DJ Moore over Chubb too, to be honest with you. But I really do I like Chris Moore against Dallas. I'm taking Woody Marks over Henderson. I just can't in good conscience. Addison K9, Luke McCaffrey, start 1. I want to go with Luke. I think Luke gets in the end zone this week for sure. I think I want to go with Bam Knight over Charbonnet and Algier. Alex, are we talking PPR? You know what? I don't know that it matters. Give me Luke McCaffrey over ETN this week. Yeah, I think that just helps the case. ETN, you're praying for a TD, and I think Luke gets in the end zone. ETN, Vidal, Pacheco as RB2, Vidal. Pacheco's just been so bad this year. And ETN is a TD or bust. Chuba or Pollard. Give me Chuba. Pollard's been so bad. And I don't know how much work that Chuba's going to get, but he's got to be better. ETN or Vidal. Give me Vidal. Olave over Johnston. Olave has a ton of targets this year, guys. He's one of the top. He's top 5 in targets, if not number 2. I know it's been a minute. Give me Bill over White. I like the matchup against the Cowboys, so give me Bill over White. I don't know what's going on with DeAndre Swift is dealing with a groin. He says he's going to play. Kamara hasn't been good. Keep an eye on it, but I think I want to go with Swift, but just barely. I like the Scat Man, guys. I like the Scat Man. Captain, any trade questions? Send me a message with your roster and PPR standard. All right, please talk about the Commanders wide receiver core and who to start. I like Chris Moore and Luke McCaffrey and Zach Ertz and Bill. I like all 4 of those guys this week. I like Jaden Daniels this week. The Cowboys defense has been so bad. We know Debo's not playing. We know Terry's not playing. I like Luke to get in the end zone. I like Chris Moore to have a good game, probably get in the end zone too. Bill's probably going to do something as well this week. Look for the Commanders. I'm looking for that game to be a high scoring game. So I like having any part I can of the Commanders offense. I like Luke, Chris Moore, both again. Bill, Zach Ertz should probably do something. If you got the tight end over there. Ladd or Luke. That one's close. I think I kind of want to go Luke. I just really like that matchup. And is it going to bite me in the ass? I don't know. I don't think so. I haven't seen anything out of and Diggs is out for the Cowboys. He got a concussion at home. So that secondary is a little bit banged up. So I think there's a lot. I think there's few guys that I'm gonna go with over Luke right now. But yeah, I think I like Luke more than I like Keenan. I love Drake May this week, guys. I like Drake May over Jalen Hurts. I'm gonna go with Bourne over Laporta. Trade AJ Brown for Odunze. I mean, I think I would. Fannin or Ferguson? Give me Ferguson. Should be a rough week for offense for that Cleveland Miami game. Weather's supposed to be bad. Rico or Ladd? Does it matter if it's PPR? I don't think it does. I think I'm gonna go Rico. Luke over Shaheed. Yeah, I like Luke over Shaheed. Bourne, Abudi, Otten, Bourne, or Chubb for flex. Need 2. I'm going Bourne. And give me Booty. Bourne and Booty. B&B. Yes, I would start Laporta over Fannin. I'll take Kittle over Fannin. I like Fannin, but I hate the weather. There's going to be bad weather this week. Rain, wind. I mean, Whittington in a spot start's not bad with Puka out. I definitely want to play Devontae Adams if I have him. Hova, I think I want to go Luke over AJ Brown. I really do. Um, there's so many problems there in Philly right now, and until they could show me something else, Luke over Tez. I don't know what Tez is going to do this week. I would like to know who your other options are with Whittington, but I don't mind playing Whittington this week. Luke over Tet. Um, Tez might not get much action this week. Mike Evans might play, and Abuka might play as well. So, with both of those guys possibly playing, I'm going to go with the guy that I know is going to get some stuff. Claim. I like Woody Marks. If I'm dropping someone, I would drop Spears. Thank you so much, Hova. I appreciate it. Tet over Johnston. Yeah, no problem, man. That's what I'm here for. I'm here now, guys. Let me just go ahead and let everyone know now, and I'll let everyone know, remind everyone, I actually will not be here next Saturday. I typically am always here. So you don't mind playing both Bill and Luke? No, I don't. I don't mind playing both Bill and Luke. I'm typically here every Saturday night between 10 and 11 p.m. Central Time. But I'm actually going to be out of town next week for a softball tournament for my daughter. So I will not be live next week. I will post some shorts asking you guys if you have any questions. Feel free to message the page, to leave comments on any of the shorts that we post, so that you can go ahead and ask all your questions. But I will not be live next Saturday. I'm out of town for a softball tournament for my daughter. Trade Johnston for BTJ. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I like Bill and Luke this week. I do. Now, I do. I do like Bill and Luke this week. I just don't like the Eagles right now. Well, I mean, TG, that just I've got like 7 leagues I'm in, and I range anywhere from 2-4 to 6-1. And I have a very, very wide range of players. Someone that I pretty much have on all my teams is Emeka Ibuka. I loved Ibuka going into this season. I love Chase Brown coming into the season, and he's killing me in majority of my leagues right now. Just my quarterbacks, I'm all over the place. Some of my favorite quarterbacks this year. I love Baker this year. Um, Baker's he's just doing what he always does, right? I've got some leagues where I'm dealing with a lot of injuries right now. The league I'm 2-4 in, I've got Bucky Irving's out, and then Chase Brown is killing me. And I got Gibbs, and Gibbs is doing good. Should I trade JT and CD for Bijan and JSN? I would not. I would not. That's one where I don't think I need to see the rest of the roster. If you're doing running back, wide receiver, wide receiver, I would not trade JT and CD for Bijan and JSN. Yeah. Wandell, Walker, or Tucker at the flex. We're talking about Kenneth Walker. I'm assuming. Yeah, I think I'll go Kenneth Walker. I like running backs in my flex. So that's what I'm going to go with there. Pick 2, AJ, Worthy, CD. CD definitely. I don't like AJ, but I like him better than I do Worthy. Worthy is. So let me say this. AJ Brown's a safer play than Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy is a guy that you play if you got to score a ton of points, right? Worthy is boom or bust. He's either going to get you 6 points or he could get you 30. I'm going Bourne in the flex there, Elijah. Me Bourne in the flex. Danny Dimes. I love Danny Dimes this year. That's another guy that I like. I was big on Danny Dimes coming into the season. I thought he was going to have a really great year. Ferguson over Fannin. Um, I knew he was going to beat out AR, and I just felt like it's just a way better team. Rico over Kamara. Scat, Bill, or White. Start 2. Bill and Scat. Luke or Chris Moore, and why? I like them both. If I gotta pick one, give me 2 seconds here. Luke gets in the end zone more. Scattaboo. Okay. Yeah. Give me Luke. Luke gets in the end zone for sure. I think I would put money on him for anytime TD score. DS, I got you next. I think Jaden's been with him a little bit, right? Last 2 years, coming in as rookies together. And I know we haven't gotten a ton out of Luke. Debo's always been there. Debo won't be there this week. I don't know. I just got a feeling about Luke this week. I don't know what it is. A little bit of a gut. I don't know, Alex, if Jacobs is going to play. Fire. I need Emeka and ETN for Bijan, a good trade. I need to see the rest of your roster. Send me a message. Okay, so the next question, guys. Rice or Evans? I don't like Rice. I love Mike Evans. But here's the problem. Mike Evans plays on Monday, and we don't know if he's going to play. We have no idea if Mike Evans is going to play. So in this case, I'm going to go with Rice over Evans, just because I know he's going to play. That's the only reason why I'm going with that in that situation. I know Rice is going to play. BTJ or Evans, again, same thing. I know BTJ is going to play. So I'm going with BTJ. Kraft, Brown, or Worthy at the flex. Give me Brown. Luke McCaffrey or DJ Moore. Has Moore done anything for us lately? To really like that matchup. Was cleared. I think I'm going to go with Luke. Eagles and Rams. I'm staying away from the Rams because it's we're playing overseas. I don't think it's a lock. I don't bet on those 8 a.m. games over in London or Germany or wherever the heck they are. I'm gonna start Breece Hall over Mike Evans because I don't know if Mike Evans is gonna play. McConkey over AJ Brown. Breece Hall over Mike Evans again. I just don't know if Mike Evans is gonna play, and I know Breece Hall is gonna play. Danny Dimes over Jalen Hurts. There's no guarantee Mike Evans is playing, guys. I have not. He's trending towards playing, yes, but it's Saturday night. We got a whole nother day. He's coming off an injury. He should play, but I don't know for sure. And because I don't know for sure, I'm just not. I'm not willing to risk it. Me personally, I'm not willing to risk it. Jordan Mason over Stephon Diggs. Yes, I'm starting Bourne still. Luke over T Mac. Luke over T Mac. Man, that's traded Puka and Henderson for Henry and Nico. 1-5 and couldn't afford to keep Puka. Man, that one's tough. I think Kittle will be okay. He'll. You just don't know, right? He's coming off an injury. He's been out. What kind of shape is he going to be in? That's why I'm not concerned about Bourne this week, because I think Bourne still gets his targets, and I think Mac Jones has shown that he likes throwing at the Bourne. He's had 142 yards each of the last 2 weeks. Yeah. Luke or Bourne. That one's close. I think I'm gonna go. I really like Bourne. I really like Luke. Oh man, that one's tough for me. I don't know why my TV just turned on. Probably a ghost in the house. Pittman over Worthy. Golf over Nix. Luke. White over Kamara. Hova. Luke. Hold on, guys. Golf over Hurts. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Is it PPR or standard? Let me know. I think that makes a difference. I mean, if he plays, it's PPR. I think so. I definitely think. I think Luke gets in the end zone. I don't know if Bourne does. Bourne's going to have yards. He's going to have receptions. Give me Luke just barely. Kraft over Fannin this week. I'm going to flex Keenan there over Kittle and Evans. I don't know if Evans is going to play. We don't know if Evans is going to play. I know he's trending towards playing, guys, but I've done this before. I've gone with the guy that's trending towards playing on a Monday night, and then he doesn't play, and then I'm left holding the bag, right? And so that's my only reason. If you feel 100% confident that Evans is going to play, you play Evans. If you feel confident that Ibuka is going to play, then you play Ibuka. Me giving advice, I'm going to go with the guy that I know that is playing. All there is to it. That's my thought process on it. That's what I feel comfortable doing in those situations, because I've said it before. You know, um, I've gone out there and I've been like, "Hey, play." I think there was a week that James Cook was trending towards playing. I think this was last year. And I'm like, "Yeah, let's play James Cook." And then Monday night comes around, and then all of a sudden now he's not playing, and we're left holding the bag, wondering who we're going to play. And so since then, um, I've always gone with the guy that I know is healthy. That's my thought process on it. That's what I go with. So I will always that's what I'll tell you guys. Play the guy that's healthy. bench the guy that's may play, may not play. But if you feel 100% confident, then yeah, go with Mike Evans, go with Emeka Egbuka. Because if they do play, I want to play him. Right? There's possibly no Kirby Joseph for Detroit. I haven't heard for sure on that. And then Brian Branch is out this week, so that definitely favors the receivers there in Tampa. I just don't know. But if you have someone like Tez and Shep on your bench, and you have that option to move them in and out, cool. Then go ahead and go with a Mike Evans. Go ahead and go with an Egbuka. And if they don't play, you play those other guys. How long are we invested in Luke? 2 weeks? It just depends on T-Max, not T-Max. Scary Terry's been out for a while. We don't know when he's coming back. Debo typically misses a few weeks. Part of the reason why I'm really big on Luke this week is because he's playing the Cowboys. And that's strictly just a matchup thing. It's strictly a matchup thing. And that's why I really like Luke this week. Next week, they're playing Kansas City. I don't like Luke as much next week playing Kansas City as I do against Dallas, right? It's a matchup thing. That's strictly what it is. I am on board for Luke this week, but next week, not so much. So that's where I'm at with that. I like Breece Hall. I know they keep saying that they're not going to trade him, but maybe they do. But I do like Breece Hall. I like, what was it? Wan'Dale or Chris Moore. Wan'Dale is a safer play. Chris Moore is a home run play. Wan'Dale's got a tough matchup against the Giants. That being said, I do love the Giants right now. I love what they're doing. I love the life that Scats breathed into them. Him and Dart. I love what they've brought to that team. That team's got a completely different swagger, mentality. I think Wan'Dale is a safe play, but I see Chris Moore as being like a home run play. Like if you need a lot of points, if you need a guy to completely ball out, like if the safe play is not going to get you the win and you need a guy that's going to completely ball out, I'm going to take the guy that's going to completely ball out. So that's where I'm at with that. Guys, I got to get out of here for the night. I know I got a ton of questions still coming through. I will be up for a little while longer. Here's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to post a short right after I'm done with this, guys. Throw any other start-sit questions in there. I will answer. I will get to them all. If I don't get to them tonight, I'll get to them early tomorrow morning. I do have an early morning tomorrow, so I will answer, especially if you have any questions that involve that 8:30 a.m. game. Don't forget, guys, we got the Rams and the Jags 8:30 tomorrow morning. So if you have anybody playing in those games, make your decisions on those guys tonight before you go to bed in case you don't wake up in time. We've got the Ravens and the Bills are on a bye week. Thank you guys so much for watching. I definitely appreciate it. Thank you for all the likes, the shares, the gifts, all that stuff, all the new followers. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate all of you guys. Have a great night, guys. Let's get those dubs. Get the dubs. Have a great one. I'll talk to you guys later. Again, any trade questions, message them over to us. We'll answer those. Start-sit questions. I'm going to post a short after this, guys. Throw them in there. We'll get you your answers. Thank you guys so much. Talk to you later. Deuces.